On the news tonight, House of Representatives take steps to address issues surrounding certificate racketeering. Plus, correspondents examine plight of Nigerian worker in private sector as momentum build up for a shake-up of civil service reforms. Good evening and welcome to Nta Ijebu Ode at 7. My name is Erefe Ogushola and here are the news in detail. The House of Representatives Joint Committee on Certificate Racketeering has embarked on oversight to some emergencies as a step to addressing the issues surrounding certificate racketeering among Nigerian students. National Assembly correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
Cases of certificate racketeering by Nigerian students allegedly with the connivance of some government officials prompted the investigation by the House Committee. The Ministry of Interior was a first port of call to assess passport and data records of students studying overseas.
The essence of this interface is to rub minds and identify areas that require legislative intervention and the best way to curb the proliferation of this menace in our institutions and take decisive steps towards protecting integrity of Nigerian education system.
So why we are here is to find out whether what happened was right or not, and we are not actually talking about your past.
The committee also visited the Nigerian Council of Food Science and Technology, the National Center for Technology Management, and the Nigerian Institute of Science Laboratory Technology, all on the same mission.
A lot of people have gotten these fake degrees. They have gotten appointments into the civil service and many other agencies of government. So to save the nation from this embarrassment.
The real issues are beyond the issues of certificates. It's an issue of we are not training the people at the level they are supposed to be training, and the course that is happening, we are now having those who are now supplying the end product, which is the paper.
We have the enabling law to punish those who are even fraudulent. It's there in the Criminal Code Act, section 243 to 245.
There is a staff that actually did a fellowship certificate for a particular member sometimes ago, years back. And of course, the person presented it in the place of work, and the investigation catch up with that person, and they set up a panel, and that staff is about almost 10-15 years ago. The staff was actually sacked.
The Joint Committee stated that they are not out for witch hunt, but tackling a national problem. The oversight visits continue with other MDAs. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
The story of the Nigerian worker is one of resilience and commitment in the face of daunting socio-economic challenges. Yet, for those in the private sector, the struggle is even more unsettling. In this report, Ignatius Nkwa examined their plight and the extent of intervention by regulatory bodies.
They are the hands behind your favorite products, the voices on the other end of customer service, the manpower behind production of goods and services. Yet, many of them work in silence, in fear and in pain.
Here I am now, I'm okay. We thank God everything is going well, but I've had experience like where people, even not only me, some of other people complaining, people using like working very hard for people working in private and their benefit just low. They are not getting what they deserve from the company.
Sadiq is a baker. His experience with his former employer was that of despair. A number of workers in the private sector face a harsh and uncertain reality. Job security is a myth. Maternity leave is a gamble, and many receive salaries that haven't changed in years. In the public sector, rules are clearer, salaries are backed by budgets, workers are unionized and backed by the government civil service protections.
We are also doing well and contribute a lot to the economy of this country. So we deserve proper attention from government to assist in terms of pension and some other things, and we work harder.
Labor unions are supposed to be the voice of the voiceless. But while public sector unions often go on nationwide strikes, private sector workers are left behind, fragmented, fearful and often unorganized.
Even the informal economy is protected by the labor laws. It depends on the perspective you look at it. I know of the fact that there's a process of formalizing the informal economy which is one of the ILO decisions. That's why you have small and medium scale enterprises where government also pay attention by providing some financial enablement.
The National Employers Consultative Association is meant to balance the interests of workers and business owners.
Thank God the universal health coverage has become compulsory for all Nigerians, by the NHIA Act, without prejudice to the annual salary increases that still goes on in the private sector. So, the private sector moves faster in the context of wage adjustment and the context of remuneration than the public sector as it was.
Parliament has caused on several occasions, even with this session, to pass resolutions to the effect that the minimum wage should be implemented to the latter.
The story of Sadiq is the story of some men and women who carry the weight of industries, yet have no protection when the system fails them. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Momentum is building for a major shake-up of the Nigerian civil service, with a nationwide personnel audit and skill gap analysis kicking off this August. The goal is to make the service sharper, faster, and more responsive so it truly delivers for the people. This was one of the hot topics dissected by the guest on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria during a lively conversation on civil service reforms. Olusheye Nta Ijebu reports.
Dr. Gideon Adogbo, Senior Technical Advisor, Governance Reform, Technology and Innovations, shared a host of innovative ideas designed to smooth the journey towards full digitization of government services. It was clear if the civil service is going to meet modern demands, embracing technology isn't optional. It's the heartbeat of reform.
For civil service to deliver the services to the citizens, they need to use technology. And that's where digitalization is coming in, to ensure that all work processes are digitalized. And it's about inclusivity. And where this reform is very people-centric.
Every civil servant that uses service by GPT, it's like you have your own digital personal assistant at your fingertip. It captures the human resource, the procurement aspect, the compendium of circulars. So it's like all in one.
The panel took a closer look at how to make this digital leap inclusive, ensuring no group, young or old, is left struggling in the new tech-driven system.
We're going to have a personnel audit and skill gap analysis. Looking at the mandates again, and then checking the staff and making sure that we have the staff we need. And at the end of it, we'll have data about where the gaps are.
We followed the process and procedures. It was implementing the policies. Definitely, achievement of this implementation of these policies will not be attained without taking the welfare of civil servants along with the policy implementation.
Public reactions streamed in via GMN's social media channels, echoing support for the changes. Still, viewers had a clear message for policymakers. Make sure each ministry's reform plan reflects its unique needs and realities, or risks missing the mark. In Abuja, Olusheye Nta Ijebu Ode.
Ogun State Governor Nta Ijebu Ode has charged judges and judicial officers in the state to always let the fear of God, good conscience, and rule of law guide them in the dispensation of justice without fear, favor, affection, or ill will. The governor gave the charge while swearing in 3 new judges of the State High Court at the State Executive Chamber, Governor's Office, Okemoson, Abeokuta. Lekon Agbode reports.
The 3 new judges are Adebayo Julius Ojikutu, former Chief Registrar of the State High Court, Adejumoke Oluwatoyin Adewale, former Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, as well as Oluyemisi Olukemi Adebo, former Secretary, Judicial Service Commission, who are sworn in line with the state government's commitment to strengthen the rule of law, promote justice, and safeguard the independence and effectiveness of the judiciary. Governor Nta Ijebu Ode reiterates his administration's resolve to at all times abide by decisions of the court, while reminding the new judges of the need to abide by their oath of impartiality and fairness while discharging their constitutional duties as a last hope of the masses.
The fear of God, your conscience, and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria guide your judgments. Dispense justice without fear or favor, affection or ill will. Be fair, but be firm. Be courageous in the face of pressure, and always place the interests of justice and the people above all else. In these challenging times, we require judges who are not only learned in the law, but also upright in character and resolute in conduct. The people must see you as the hope for justice, the shield against oppression, and the assurance that right will prevail over might.
He also urged them to be firm and be upright in character and conduct. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agmonde, NTA News.
You're watching Nta Ijebu Ode at 7. We're not going on a short break. Please stay tuned.
Are you desiring a future career in nursing science, law, medical laboratory science, public health, accounting, economics, agricultural extension and rural development, criminology and security studies, and other NUC-approved and accredited professional academic programs? Is your UTME score 140 and above? Then this information is for you. Admission for all these courses is currently ongoing at the Atiba University, Oyo, Nigeria's fastest growing and cost-effective private university. The university is located in the peaceful, serene, and secure environment of Oyo Township in Oyo State, Nigeria. Hurry now. Admission is in progress. Visit www.atibauniversity.edu.ng to apply or call any of these numbers: 081-034-94152, 080-385-79822. What are you waiting for? The future is now.
Oh, what a wonderful world of SureClean detergent. Oh yes, you can have a clean and bright wash with SureClean. SureClean detergent is tough on stains, gentle on your hands, and leaves clothes smelling fresh. Oh see, for clean white and all colors, SureClean detergent makes you shine. As you spread it all, you can see the shine of SureClean brightness. Now, wear your smile with pride and nothing to hide. SureClean detergent makes your family clean and happy. SureClean detergent, happiness with every wash.
Welcome back from the break and thank you for being there. Ogun State House of Assembly is interfering into alleged maltreatment of the people of Ogu community in Ikpokia, Idiroko, Yewa, and Ado Odota constituency while processing Nigerian Immigration Service. This is over the continued refusal of NIS to process the Nigerian documents for the Ogun ethnic group over ways and manners their names are written and pronounced. Yemi Dalimo has details of the report.
The lawmakers at plenary discussed extensively on personal explanation brought by the member representing Ikpokia Idiroko State Constituency, Adebisi Oyedele, on the alleged treatment of his people, a tribe in that local government called the Ogu people, that whenever they approach the Nigerian Immigration Service, because of the name, the Nigerian Immigration Service are actually not attending to them as a Nigerian. And that is why the members of the Ogun State House of Assembly have resolved to invite and inform the Ogun State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, and as well write officially to the State Controller of Nigerian Immigration Service in Ogun State, and also report this matter to the State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, for urgent intervention.
The lawmakers decried the lopsidedness in attending to people from Ogu tribe who are indigenes of Ogun State spread across the Ikpokia, Idiroko, Yewa, and Ado-Odo state constituencies by the officials of the Nigerian Immigration Service over how their names are written and appear on official documents.
Anytime there are people, particularly those of the Ogun extraction, wants to get their passport, they have been facing the first series of challenges, particularly when it comes to a name that they are not very used to. My questions are: one, are we not Nigerians because we are a mobile extraction?
This is that happens like 3 times, 4 times, the issue of immigration that I said. Even of recent, I sent some documents to him.
Yes.
The person that went to the immigration office, he got letter from chairman, council chairman down in Ikpokia. He got from KBC is unbeatable because of the name. Even the issue of fuel, as we are talking now, there's some area and area that we can't get fuel because of they are close to border.
For this not to continue, we would like you to use your good office to appeal whether to the governor or to the immigration controller to please believe that in this state, Egun people are also very, very important. And for them not to continue to be denied their rights.
We have to do a letter on this to the state controller of immigration and to the commissioner for local government and chieftaincy affairs, that they have to see to this impurity. And at the same time, we have to write to His Excellency, telling him, intimating him what our people are facing because of bureaucratic bottleneck.
Honorable Waliu Ode, representing Ijebu East constituency, also informed the House of the invasion of some elephants into Itasin Imobi in his constituency, which resulted into the death of a farmer, urging government intervention into resettling the animals back into the government forest reserve.
They migrated from our forest in J4 some years ago, and there are about 50 in numbers. They are scattered around the forest and the community. This kind of unfortunate occurrence have been happening. Actually, this is the third time it is happening, and unfortunately, this one happened recently.
The lawmakers received in audience members of the fifth set of Children's Parliament from Ogun State, led by the Speaker Ezekiel Favour, who came to understudy the session in Abeokuta. Yemi Dalemu, NTA News.
To achieve the 17th edition of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals (SDG), there is the need for secondary school principal in Ogun State to design plans as well partner with both parents and no student associations of the school for a meaningful development. This came to fore at a transformative leadership workshop put together by the Office of the Principal General of Ijebu Division in Ogun State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, Office of the Ogun State Education Ambassador, and All-Nigerian Conference Principal of Secondary Schools, Ijebu Division for Administrators. Anthony Gandunu was at the Adeola Odutola College, Ijebu Ode, and now reports.
I encourage the principals to have the right attitude, the passion, and the right skills through the service training workshop seminars to be able to attract such talent in the schools.
They should be careful about it. They should prepare for it. That's of accommodation and regular.
Caters as informal or formal leaders. And so I just wanted to kind of inspire thought around how can our teachers help grow the leadership of our school systems. And then I talked about how teachers can only just be leaders, but they can also be scholars. And so I talked a little bit about ways that teachers can do research in their own classrooms.
Those are the resource persons speaking on different topics carefully selected at the one-day leadership workshop put together by the Office of Principal General of Ijebu Division in collaboration with the Office of the Ogun State Education Ambassador and supported by All Nigeria Conference of Principals of Secondary Schools for School Administrators in Ijebu Zone. The Principal General, Ijebu Division, Babatunji Yusuf, in his words, said the workshop was a routine capacity building exercise by his office for school administrators within his division for optimal performance.
The topics were well drawn out to cater for issues like non-state actors. We want issues where principals will be able to relate well with other stakeholders for the upliftment or development of the school. Also, we have also brought in an international input into it. What we call multicultural, what has been happening in other areas, we want to have a blend of it here, and for our people to be able to really blend things together, and after just success, progress, development in my division.
Ogun State Education Ambassador Dr. Adewale Kayode and other participants described the workshop as apt and timely.
I see this, there is a need for me as Ogun State Education Ambassador hosting Amanda from US. I think it's timely for her to meet those school administrators that she has been meeting virtually for the past 2 years in person.
We learned a lot, and we are going to put it into practice when we get back to our different schools.
The leadership now is in twofold. The leadership as the school administrator, the principal, then the leadership as a teacher, influencing the students in the school. So with all I want to say, it's been a very good package.
The workshop will further inspire school leaders to deliver quality service as well as strengthen the educational landscape in Ijebu Division. In Ijebu Ode, Anthony Gandon, NTA News.
Journalists are calling on Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission to look into the prevention of anti-competitive practices in the petroleum downstream sector, in line with the stipulation of the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA. This is to mitigate price fixing, gouging, and emerging monopoly in the sector. Eden Samson reports.
Nigeria's oil and gas sector is witnessing unpredictable price changes. Experts caution that these can highlight anti-competition practices and undermine market fairness.
The price volatility, it's like we've never seen before in this country. So all of these issues, we at
This will be all we have for you on our English update. Stay tuned for the Yoruba update from Adetoye Adegberu. My name is Nta Ijebu Ode. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, what a wonderful world of SureClean detergent. Oh yes, you can have a clean and bright wash with SureClean. SureClean detergent is tough on stains, gentle on your hands, and leaves clothes smelling fresh. Oh see, for clean whites and all colors, SureClean detergent makes you shine. As you spread it all, you can see the shine of SureClean brightness. Now, wear your smile with pride and nothing to hide. SureClean detergent makes your family clean and happy. SureClean detergent, happiness with every wash.
Are you desiring a future career in nursing science, law, medical laboratory science, public health, accounting, economics, agricultural extension and rural development, criminology and security studies, and other NUC-approved and accredited professional academic programs? If your UTME score 140 and above, then this information is for you. Admission for all these courses is currently ongoing at the Atiba University, Oyo, Nigeria's fastest growing and cost-effective private university. The university is located in the peaceful, serene, and secure environment of Oyo Township in Oyo State, Nigeria. Hurry now, admission is in progress. Visit www.atibauniversity.edu.ng to apply or call any of these numbers: 081-034-94152, 080-385-79822. What are you waiting for? The future is now.